Hello, welcome to the new video. Today I'm going to go through my Budget Dex Stacking Whirlwind. So disclaimer before I start, this build is not designed by me. I'm using a template set by one of the YouTuber called CWY. He have a few guides on it, but I think I'm trying to show a more appropriate representation of the build. So what's all this about? So basically we are stacking dexterity, uh, using the weapon modifier, the FX, to get lightning damage, and we're gonna scale the lightning damage with dexterity. So in this game, dexterity gives two things: evasion and attack speed, based on amount of dexterity you have. So with my character currently, without any gear, just with the talents alone and the trait, I have about 327 dexterity. So we're gonna be stacking dexterity to roughly about 600. That's the baseline when you can get about 20 million DPS. That's what I'm assuming. So I set myself some goal for to test out this build. I had 600. I wanted 600 dexterity on the build and 50 elemental rest. So I want cold lightning fire to be 50 each. Uh, yes, but the result may differ, right? So I wanted 2.5k life because it's a melee build. We are gonna be spinning, whirlwinding inside the enemies. So I want some life, about 2.5k. I think that's the bare minimum you can go to do D7s. You still get one hit. You probably will get one hit most of the time, but we are dexterity, right? So we have evasion. So we'll be evading attacks. So I think it should be alright. Uh, for weapons, uh, for weapons we may have to do a little bit of crafting. But for this build, for this project alone, I am limiting myself not to craft anything except maybe enchanting items. So another goal, so the my seventh goal for this build is having 20 million dummy DPS in the town. So in Torchlight Infinite, there's a dummy in the town to test your DPS. Right, so we're aiming for about 20 million. Then we will be going for so that I'm making this build so that we can run T7 with trade cards. I want to see because I've been going through the Discord and I see many of the people are not able to do T7 or struggling to set up a character to go T7. I mean, many succeeded, but some are still failing, and they are asking for what build can I do. So I'm finding the cheapest possible, bare minimum to go to T7 with trade cards. So weapons, what did I do with the gear? So for the weapons, I simply go to the trade house, the auction house, and pick up some lightning damage per 16 dexterity weapons. These are the T2 mods. T1 is better, and even the corroded T1 is even better. But I think those are out of the budget for this project, so I went for the cheapest one I can find. So I want to get 1 FE or 20 flame stem. It's about the same if you convert it. So I want to pick up two of it. Uh, the first one on the top here, it shows the hero's longsword. This is probably the best base you can get on for the build. There's one other good base because this base is really good because of the high attack speed it have. So I went to pick this up for 1 FE, and I wanted just one mod, right? It's because I don't want to spend so much on crafting. So the other good base with high attack speed is Blizzard Sword, but it have lower level requirements. So it have lesser physical DPS. As you can see, it's 113 to 83 physical DPS. But attack speed is about the same. So it works, right? We are gonna budget, right? We don't have a choice. So we're gonna go for this. So what I'm gonna do with this weapons is they only have one mod, right? This is their blue. So I'm gonna go and use some flame dust. I think it's called flame dust. Yeah, flame dust and cultivation embers. So I'm gonna add a flat dexterity on it. My aim is to get like D3, D4, anything purple, right? D3, D4, oh no, D2, 3, 4, or 1. So if I'm luck out, I will get T1. But if I don't, I will get D2 or D3. I'm okay with any of that. Then after that, I'm gonna craft enchant a gear attack speed. So more dex speed for flat. If I'm stacking flat lightning damage, more attack speed is always gonna be better, right? I'm gonna be hitting more. So total, when I made the swords, it took me about 2 FE each. I don't know they're still available. I have passed these slides to 2 to 3 guys. Maybe they bought it out. I have no idea what happened. I'm gonna check out after the video to make sure that they're still available. Alright. So I'm not counting the cost of the ember and dust because I'm assuming if you can have 15 FE, you probably have some ember and some dust in your inventory. Okay, if you don't, I mean, you can just farm it. Like it takes about 20 minutes to an hour to get 50 flame dust and 50 ember. It doesn't take that long. So these are the final products. uh, we have the first blizzard sword with dexterity mod on it, but I think that dexterity is tier, I think tier 4 dexterity is not that good. It's pretty shit. Some gear attack speed to make it faster. That's it. Uh, Hero's Longsword. This is probably the most budget one. Uh, yep, that's it. It's the same thing. I think this is a tier 3 mod. I can probably use some Truth Ember on it, but it's not really worth it. So I'm not gonna do it. Then for the Blizzard Sword, as you can see, the energy is 1, right? Compared to the 48 energy. So I'm going to use some uh, gear empowerment to change the energy to like maybe 40 plus, 50, because we're going to need some energy. You will find out later on. It's pretty interesting how it went. So for Amulet, I'm going to go through the legendaries and the weapon first, because those are the fixed slots. The rest is like you can just throw in whatever you have or whatever you can buy. So Chain of Resistance with attack speed corruption, 1 FE, probably the best one you can get for this budget. 1 FE, it gives you so much area, so much damage, and some dexterity and some life and mana. Yeah, so this is probably like easiest way to get some DPS on the amulet for Whirlwind early on. This will probably carry you until like pretty late D7s. Unless you have like 10 to 20 FE, you probably don't need to change this. Next up, we have Howling. So, actually, when I thought about what to put for my build, I went for Howling. Because I was already using the Corrupted Howling with attack speed corruption. Uh, but those were really cheap when I bought it, right? I bought it for like 5 or 6 FEs. But recently, I have seen a small surge in prices for Howling. Uh, it's a yeah, it's cheap, it's good. I'm still using it in my endgame build until I get Infinity, so these are probably very good. Life, dexterity, attack speed, cooldown recovery, and skill duration. You can ask for a better one early on. Yeah. So the rest of the gear, right, is gonna be just life resistance and some life regen, right? It doesn't really matter what you get. You want to pick up some decks because you only have like 35 here and 12, and you have like 100 here. You probably need about 300 more decks. As you see, the base is only 327, so we need about this is like 200 100, so it's about 400. It's like 550 around there. Then this will bring up to like 570. Then we will need one more slot, one more gear with dexterity. But dexterity gears are so expensive right now because the build is people have figured out that this build is really good and cheap. So I just went for the dexterity on the chest because at the end game we don't need the resistance on the chest. We'll be getting interesting modifiers on the chest. So, what did we get for helmet? So the helm slot, is pretty much you can get damage like elemental damage I have here. It doesn't really matter. It's 11%. I went for as high regen and resistance as possible. Life is just a bonus, right? I just want regen and resistance. Regen because I'm gonna be using skills that are gonna half my HP, and I'm gonna have to regen it. As you see, the energy is low, right? All the pieces, right, the energies are quite low, and they are not even eye level 80. So the base energy you have on the build is gonna be quite low, but you only need about 320 or 310 total energy, so it's achievable, right? So you just want to and get some energy cores and change the energy value on it. So just yeah, simple life regen, resistance. I bought it just because I needed those stats. Elemental damage is a bonus, but as you can see, it only increased my damage by 1.6%. It doesn't do much. So boots is the same thing. I just wanted some movement speed and resistance. So I just went for movement speed, and I wanted one high rest or two middle tier rest. So I got myself a movement speed, which is 20. It's not great, but it's better than nothing, right? Then resistance, just any resistance you need, you just slap it in. If you can get life on it, alright, that's good. If you can get some DPS like 0.4% DPS on it, it's even better, right? The same thing as other piece of gear, redo the energy. I think this energy is fine, but I would prefer if it's like 45 or 50. Gloves. Gloves are okay, right, sorry. Gloves are one of the biggest damage sources in your build. Apart from the weapon, rings, and amulet, gloves for this build is insane amount of damage, right? You can get insane amount of damage on the gloves. Uh, at the end game, right, it's gonna be the same as your like so you go full damage on your gloves or full damage on your chest. Whichever you prefer, you can do it. I recommend that you go half half. I will show you next time when I can show off my own gear. This is just D3 dress and lightning damage, right? As you can see, there's flat lightning damage, right? But if you have more budget, right? If you have like 5 FE or 10 FE lying around, buy a sick glove with like uh double lightning damage mods and life, then you get like triple rest or double rest and one dexterity, right? That will give you a lot of damage. This 6 attack speed percent attack speed, right, is equivalent to getting like about 100 dex, like in terms of like attack speed alone. 100, I think, not 100, maybe more like 70, right, around there. So our ring, right? We went for Fury Heart. Just a easy, unique ring. I don't have to legendary ring. I don't have to do anything on it. I just have to buy a decent stats on it, and I will get some crit damage and critical strikes. That's it. I know I have favor, but favor to give you me crit, but I think I needed a bit more crit and I needed more DPS, right? So I went for full DPS ring, and I have agility blessing all the time, so it doesn't really matter. I didn't need the ring to keep up agility blessing. I just needed it to scale some damage, right? I think probably you can if you have like another. The situation with the rings, right? Is because the rings are really expensive now, dexterity rings with life and damage. So I will recommend that you either go for Fury Heart or get some kind of End of Confusion, something like that, to make up for it. Second ring, get as much rest as possible. Life, that's it. Any damage modifier you get on the ring is good. As you can see, this ring, right, I lucked out and got myself for one flame sand. However, I am counting it as one FE, right? That's the only thing. Yeah, that's the only thing. Just to make sure that I didn't stole someone's gear, right? Yeah, it's just a simple ring, life and rest, and some damage, right? So I had some FE extra if you have been counting. I spent 13 FE on gear. Uh, if you have some extra FE, buy the level 20 lightning damage. It's pretty good. Level 21 is even better, but the difference is like 3 or 4 top end damage. So I went for 2 of level 20. It will give you insane amount of damage compared to level 16 one that you can get from the shop. So total cost 13 FE and 20 flame sand on the helmet enchant, and which means that it's like 14 FE and 2 skills for 2 FE. Yep. So DPS. This is the DPS. I can show the demo to you. It's pretty nuts for his price, right? Yeah. It's a really well put together build. What other things? So basically this is the stats page after I equip all the gear that I shown. Uh, 600 decks. If you craft 25 decks on your helmet to fill up the last 25, you will hit 600. I hit 60 elemental rest with the help of the talent tree. 2.5k life on the dot. Yeah, probably won't achieve the same thing on some builds, but it doesn't really matter, right? You're just getting life for like degens and stuff. And yeah, then is it within the budget? Yeah. Did I craft anything except weapons? Yeah, my weapons are still blue, right? It's not even purple. Yep. So and for the talents and traits and skills, I put up a Torchlight Helper link. I will post the link and the slides on the description. Uh, Goddess of Hunting Blade Runner and Ranger. Then Magical Source level 5, Rejuvenation level 5. You don't need beyond this. This will give you 30 regen per second. This will give you about 20 or 30 around around the same thing. This they reserve, they seal flat mana, so you don't want to have too high, right? You don't have, you're on a budget, you're running low on mana, so you don't want to spend too much mana on these. For the pack spirit, the pay to win potion. No, there's no pay to win in this game. So this pay to win potion, um, there's nothing pay to win about this. Um, yeah, I just got a generic outer ring, 2 rings node, which is on by default you will have it. These pets doesn't give anything except maybe the cloud gatherer on the large node, which is loot, right? So I just got a lot of loot. Because I'm farming non-stop, right? I want more loot. More loot is better. I didn't get anything else. Combat-wise, the only nodes matter is the 3 nodes here, 4 nodes here, and this big node. Yep. What did I tested the build on? I ran a few. I ran like 5 or 6. One trick. The chaos card set of D7. With 4 compasses. I was doing fine. Uh, Dark Surge. I can do it safely until like level 8. Yes, when I'm doing T7, there's occasional deaths to some rares and some skill effects. I do not. It's probably because of the low life pool and resistance and evasion sometimes failing, right? You only have like 50% or 40% evasion. So it fails sometimes. The trials of the warrior, I think machines and something, the 3 trials. My only concern is the burning ground. Burning ground may kill you most of the time. I don't think you can do the burning ground well on this build until you have more regen. Yeah. Watchers, yes, I did a watcher that I can show. I will upload the video separately. T8, no, you can do. You definitely, I can tell you that you cannot do T8 on this current budget. Keegan, nope, I'm not even gonna try. I don't want to waste it. I'm selling those Keegan drops. Path of the Brave, maybe like 10 or 15. If you can do T7, you definitely can do Path of the Brave 10, 15, maybe 20, probably not. So why do you play? Why did I choose to do this project? It's to show how cheap I can get a build too. And for me, ARBG is about farming a lot and paying the least possible just to get like. I like to chase for like the end game items, the items that I want to keep. Like even if the season is gonna end, I want to keep the item. I will never destroy the item. I want those kind of items. So I'm chasing after an amulet. So I needed a cheap build. So I went to search it up and I see like a lot of people in the Discord are struggling. So I made this slides and video to help people out, and it's insanely fast. I would say that in terms of price, right? Moto is probably cheaper to get into T7, but Whirlwind is just way faster. If you're on PC, right, Whirlwind is the probably one of the faster one, and the ease of play, right? Both are very easy to play. You can learn the game while you're playing. You don't really have to like think about what to do. Yep. Any cons? Probably the sealed mana and the mana sustain is pretty bad. But it's not an issue. I have managed to elevate the mana issue. I'll show you how I did it later on. It's pretty okay. Squishy, yeah. It's an evasion build. It's a budget evasion build. It's gonna be squishy, right? The gear is inflated right now, extremely inflated because uh FEs are being duped and FEs are being printed by people. People are making like 100 FE an hour. People have like reached their end game. Most of them are level 100 and so on. So the point that they are not picking up the pink items anymore. They are only selling the crafted items. So what happened with the crafted items is they are looking for 61 modifiers. So unlike other games, there's no like fail product in this game. Right, even the field product, right, have like 5 T1s or 4 T1s modifiers. So those gears are already costing more than this entire build. And the crafting cost is a lot too. Uh, so the gear for low end budget is really inflated and it's really bad. Yeah, that's an issue. Now I'm gonna go through the Torchlight Helper link. Yeah, I'll link this in the video. The important one you need to get is the added lightning damage and lightning piercing and guard. Guard will give you like a bit more survivability. So these three are the most important one. This is this skill is a bit interesting in a sense that this will help you push your build a bit more. Uh, Later on you will find out why, but this just to level it up and it gives you a bit damage. And this is just for shock. Because we are going to have a lot of lightning damage, might as well shock, right? Mobility, this is your this is your core skill. You'll be pressing that a lot. This is your DPS boost, this is your buff for the entire map. Once if you press it once, you can probably keep it up for the entire map. Auras, probably you need rejuvenation here, but you don't really have to run it. If you don't have enough regen, run rejuvenation. But if not, you can just run 3 of this. Uh, yeah, magical source level 5, fearless. If you can get precise, please get precise. Imbue for shock and a bit more damage. Custom crit because we are critting all the time, so we get blizzard to mark enemies. It's insane. Curse is pretty OP. Uh, yeah, this gives you like a lot of DPS. We're going Rayhan for the rage. Uh, Anger, Frenzy, Furious, Rampage, Tunnel Vision, and Reverberation. So this build revolve around this burst, right? So the burst, right, is once I show you the do the dummy test, you can see that there's a ground effect, red ground effect keep happening around the target. So that is the burst. Burst is one of the major sources of DPS in this build. So you probably have to look out for it. So this is the skill tree. Probably say the important one is this one. Paralyze will give you insane amount of DPS. This is like because we have lightning damage, right? Lightning damage have very low and low damage and very high and high damage. So you need this to proc up the high damage even more. After that, we are gonna use this not conductive, the queer angle. So we are gonna use a queer angle to trigger lucky, because we're gonna be doing lightning damage. We're gonna be shocking all the time because of all the crit. But the shock enemy will trigger lucky, right? Lucky is like you roll the damage twice. If you roll the damage twice and you hit the higher end twice, they will pick whichever roll is higher. So the rest of the tree is just in the, you can just copy exactly. After that, the next important one, it's like, yeah, critical strikes are lucky too. So like, I mean, lucky is just insane on this build because it's lightning. Just how the nature of RPGs are. Lightning damage need lucky. Then this will give you a bit more DPS also. Other than that, I'm gonna show the skills and the DPS test, right? I'm gonna choose the invincible number 2 level 85. After that, I'm just gonna press E, which is my bloodthirst, and then after that, I'm gonna start spinning. Bloodthirst, spin. Once you see your F popping off, I will wait for the rage to charge up. Once you have been berserk, you press your Q, full rage. It will boost your DPS to 30 plus. If without any of the buff, you are just doing 20 plus. Without any berserk, you are doing 18. But if you have any of this, you will spike up to level 30 mil, 32 mil. So that's basically the DPS. Okay. Any other than that, I can show you the gear. The gear is exactly the same as the slides. I didn't change anything. I'm not hiding anything. Oh, this is the one with the dex speed because I don't have any other one. So maybe except I have a better amulet, right? Because this is the amulet I was using. I just changed the energy value. Uh, I'll upload the watcher video. Then that's it for me.